What's up? JP in the house. Case part 2. So anyway, me and Uncle Guy Boss. I swear I can't get his name right. But anyway, and he told me the secret. It was really funny. But anyway, yesterday, what happened yesterday? Oh, so anyway, we were meeting and we were talking about math and vocabulary and grammar. And so I was doing the what is it called? The adverbs and the adjective thing. And so I started off, like I said in my other video, a in the end just means not special and it's one. And if the noun is countable, you use it. If it's not countable, you don't use it. And the means special and it's singular and plural. And then next you have an adverb. And I told him, I said, what's an adverb? And he was like, well, and he gave me his definition. I said, no, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. You know, you're getting all emotion about something. So you say a very. And so I jumped around like a very, getting all emotion and stuff. And he just started laughing and stuff. And then I was saying, like, that's all it is. And then you get the adjective, and the adjective is description. So you say a very green, very green, a very green, a very green, a very green, and you're getting all excited about something, then you don't even know what you're getting excited for. And then I said a mouse, and then he started laughing, and I said yeah, and I said so it's funny, you know, you have a very green mouse, very green mouse, huh? What, huh? And everybody started laughing and stuff, you know, and like, well, I just got excited over nothing, you know, and that's what, you know, the person was saying. I said, yeah, that's how it is. I mean, people don't really understand the joke about the language, you know. It gets you all excited over a description of something, and you don't even know what the something is until at the last moment. And I said, wow, that's really interesting. That's really very interesting and stuff. And he just started laughing. But we were talking about education and stuff last night, and it was really good. It was really good. The whole day we hung out and had a good time. But anyway, to get back to the my original story, people need to understand that the mind, in your brain, all you're doing is processing information. Your brain's purpose of your brain is to log data. That's all. Everything that you're seeing is data. That's all it is. Your mind already understands a lot of this stuff. It's just you don't understand it. So your mind will look at something, and before you even hit something, you know, your body can feel it, can pretty much sense how hard it is or how cold it is and stuff. So your body already knows the nature, because your body is made of the earth, of the natures and the different chemicals and everything. The whole thing is you, the mind, you don't know it. And so that's why they're teaching you in school. You don't know. Your brain processes information, and then when you're ready to give a command to your body, it encodes it. Then the brain sends a message or whatever it is to the hormones. The hormones come out, whatever, you know, or maybe it's some vibration, boom, and then the hormones release, and then they come and get that message, that encoded message, take it to your glands or to your tissues and stuff, heart, whatever, you know, and then it decodes it, and then your body does, the tissues and stuff does those things, and your tissues are your glands and what is it called? Are your glands and muscles and stuff like that. Everything you do, like I said in the first video, you have to think about it first. You cannot do anything without thinking about it. Your body voluntarily does things, or involuntarily. But we said, well, involuntarily. Your body voluntarily does things, but to you it's involuntary because you didn't send that command to it. But your body already knows how to take care of itself, repair itself, move, whatever, you know. And all you need to do is just fill it with the nutrients. But every action that you do, you have to think about it first. If you don't believe it, then do something without thinking about it. Do something. You can't. It's impossible. You're not built like that. So when you talk about the police, what you have to understand is every criminal act that they do. And another thing, you need to stop calling them police and cops, because those are just titles. They are human beings just like you, and you need to deal with them like human beings. Okay, a cop, he's this. No, he's a human being, and everything that he did, he thought about it first. Well, everything that she did, she thought about it first. Every crime, every good deed, whatever anybody done in history, they thought about it first, and then they did it. And the only reason they did it is more than likely is because, especially if it's an evil crime, is because it felt good. And when your hormones are released, they cause this stimulant to make you numbs you up and gets you high. But your adrenaline flows so they can make sure that the muscles and the glands does whatever it's supposed to do or whatever. You know, I think adrenaline is muscles and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it does that. And that flows. And so that gives your body the energy and whatever it is. But when your body is moving, it heats up. And your body can only take so much heat. So what the endorphins does and other hormones, what they do is they raise the threshold of the level, the threshold pain, the level of the what is it called? The level of the pain that you can take, or basically just numbs you, you know, and you don't get to feel that pain and stuff. So basically, that's what happens. Okay, and so and it feels good. And basically, the feeling good is basically what's numbing you, so you don't feel that pain. And that's what most police officers do when they get one person, everybody beating on one person, pulling them around and stuff like clay and stuff. You got 3, 4, 5, 6 men, women, human beings that are not coordinating their actions, and all of their actions are being done based on how their thought, what they process, sent to their bodies, and on how they feeling, and that's it. So instead of sitting there asking questions, you know, they end up hurting people, killing people, or whatever. And even in the slavery time, even with the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Panther parties and, you know, these other militant groups and stuff that's coming up, black and white, Asian, whatever, they're all doing the same thing. Okay, they just doing it based on some program that they have in their mind, and it feels good. Because, like, I go around and I ask people, does 1 + 1 = 2 excite you? And they say no. So because it doesn't excite them, there is no way they're going to do it. And they have to force themselves to really understand what 1 + 1 = 2 means. And it's a very powerful equation statement. And so when you are dealing with these people who have these jobs, then you have to understand that when you're dealing with them, what kind of emotional state are they in? You know, what were they taught when they were growing up? How did they feel about black people or other white people or whatever? Because you guys have to remember, 84% of white deaths are caused by white people, and the same number of black deaths, the 85% or whatever of black deaths are caused by black people. You know, so a lot of people just getting upset at the wrong thing. But what's going on is what you have to really understand is you do have people who work as police officers who were grown up and taught and grow and are members of organizations that are main purpose is to hurt or keep black people down. Okay, and they're in the government and everything, and you have to understand it. Okay, then you have to understand that all of that can be changed. All you have to do is just write up your investigations, whatever, and make sure, you know, it's done well, everything can be proved what I'm saying, and then you present it. You have to teach these police officers, you got to teach these lawyers, you got to teach the government officials and everyone else, and even those that are in power. And then you got to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. And a lot of people understand it, and they don't care because it's a game. But in order to stop them from doing what they're doing, then you have to tell their puppets and their regular people and stuff what's going on. And then you have to show them that they don't have to do that. And so, like, I listened to some of the black videos on YouTube, and one guy, he was talking about, you know, how we are programmed and we get that urge and stuff like that. They haven't figured out how to program us yet, because if they did, I wouldn't be making this video. Okay, they haven't figured it out. They just sharing things because they understand that because they understand the thought process that when you get an urge, that you're going to do it. But they already understand that urge is just something that they thought of, and they processed it and turned it into a command, and then they send their hormones out and get the message to deliver to their body, and their body is starting to do it. The good thing about it is you can override it. Once you release that adrenaline stuff, you can still stop it. You still have the ability to override those commands easily, but you just have to release other hormones and other you know, adrenaline and stuff like that to go to override that. But it's going to cause havoc on your body. It's going to cause a lot of stress. Some people end up getting migraine headaches because of the stress. Some people get heart attacks and all kinds of stuff, you know, but you can override it. So if you want to correct what's going on with the police and in the black communities, well, first of all, you need to get these black psychiatrists and stuff and make sure that they understand what I'm saying and then present it, because once people read it and they understand it, and you can test it, you know, just straight, okay, you don't believe it, then do something without thinking about it. Think about the process that what you're doing, because it's all in your mind, it's all there, and there is and there's nothing hidden, there's no secrets, everything is there. Every process is there, and you can sense it and you'll know it. So so you can tell them that, okay? About the police, what you have to do is you have to go to the mayors, the governors, the police chiefs, and say, hey, you cannot have a police force that is primarily duty is to discriminate. You can't do that, okay? And the reason they do it is because no one stops them. The police chiefs and everybody else, they're all on the same group and stuff. A lot of white people, you gotta understand, there are a whole bunch of white people in the United States. A lot of them not really doing much. They're doing the same thing we're doing, just sitting around doing nothing because it's too hot. Living in a country where it's just too hot for them to go outside and really do anything, you know, or they just doing things just because it feels good. They don't understand, you know, it's not that much different. It really isn't that much different. But when they are bent on keeping black people down just because just to make them feel good, and that's all it is, just to make them feel good, then we have to understand that, hey, you know, this isn't right, and we can stop and change a lot of this stuff, especially if they got rules. And that's where the rules come in to help also. And they can make rules and say, okay, well, we're just going to make it like this. But a leader who doesn't have anyone that's going to follow him is not a leader. You can be a leader all you want, but the only reason and the only way you're going to get everything done, get things done, is you got to have a team. And so what you do is you take away the team and you make the team into leaders and stuff like that. So those black psychiatrists and stuff really need to get into the police stations and really talk to them and really bring it out and say, you know, you guys are just prejudiced and you guys have discriminatory practices and you're creating chaos for absolutely no reason at all. Okay? But you can't really say they're creating it for no reason at all. Actually, they're creating it for a reason, so that they can feel good about themselves, they can eat and feed their families and have some kind of a legitimate reason to feel good and to accept their presence and stuff. But you still got to go back to the black neighborhoods, and you got to talk to the older people and to the younger people and to the gangbangers and drug dealers and the homeless people. And you got to say, hey, wake up. This is what we need to do. And then you got to get in there and you got to get the laws. They got this summer thing going on. You got to understand that. You got to start going overseas. You got to start understand that, hey, you know, a lot of people say, oh, Japan is, but I tell a lot of people, hey, you know, Japan was when we were being enslaved, they were being enslaved too. They women were being, and their kids were being shipped over, you know, to the Caribbeans and stuff as sexual slave wives and all that stuff. And the king of Japan stopped it in 1590 or something like that. And so, and that was because at that time, evidently, the white people didn't have enough power to override what he said, you know. And so it stopped. But I mean, you know, still a lot of stuff goes on. But our problem is really something that's simple to fix. The reason a lot of people are talking about, oh, white people, you know, they didn't want us to read because they don't want us to know about our history. But I was laughing because our history is what history, you know, and knowing about your history is not going to stop you from being a slave. You know, the whole thing about not being reading, I mean, because if you want, you don't have to know your history basically to get your freedom. It has nothing to do with it didn't have anything to do with freedom or anything like that. It had the whole thing about not reading was they didn't want you to advance. Once you get this information, because blacks were building things and creating things like crazy back then, and once you start getting this information and you started advancing, then you would advance to a level higher than them, where they wouldn't be able to keep up with you and they wouldn't be able to enslave you. And so that's what it was. And it's not even so much that to keep you back or anything, but you have to remember that slavery was created we were supposed to build the perfect world for them so that they can enjoy, the rich people, whatever, can enjoy their lives. So basically what their slavery was just a real harsh emperor type of a system, you know, because all the slave masters, well, those white people, and they're not, and you guys can't clump white people, all white people together. There were certain individuals who did this, and it's in the books, and you got to go in there and you got to read it, and they did it for their own purposes so that they can feel good, so they can be the kings and the you know, the chosen people of the world or whatever, you know, the gods, you know, and they did it for those reasons. Okay, and that's all slavery really is. I mean, because if everyone was smart and understood everything and were able to create things, people would work together to create things that would make things more fun, less sick. You know, we wouldn't get sick so much. We was probably out in space doing all kinds of crazy fun things. People wouldn't worry about who's screwing who, because everyone will understand that sex, the purpose of sex is just to have reproduce, and if you want to feel good, you can get a good foot massager, you know, because that's where I think you can stimulate or whatever it is, every part of your body is from your foot. So people would know that. So the whole thing about this slavery and this discrimination thing and keeping blacks down is just it's just for the purpose of keeping those people who at the top in these kingly emperor pharaoh positions, and that's it. That's all it is. Okay, so you need to get to the stage. You need to, I mean, in your communities, and you need to understand this. Listen, the only thing that's keeping you from doing the best in your life is just vocabulary. It's just vocabulary. That is it. I met this well, I was in Starbucks, and this one 19-year-old kid was studying calculus and stuff. And we started talking, and I said, well, what you studying? He said, calculus. I said, wow, you a college student? He said, no. He said, I failed the test to get into college because when I was younger, I was messing around. And so I have another chance to take the test. And so I'm studying now, which I should have did before. And I just started laughing. He said, yeah, I know, I was stupid, you know. And he was taking calculus, doing limits and stuff. So I think it was calculus 3 or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's pretty easy. He said, no, it's not hard. I said, no. It said, you just need to understand the vocabulary, what is going on. I said, all calculus is dealing with portions. That's it, boo-boos and stuff, you know, fractions and stuff, you know. So you're not really, it's not that complicated, you know. All it is what calculus is just a form to measure curves, you know, curvy lines that are not steady and stuff, or how can I say not steady, but oh my goodness, did I miss nothing? And so that's all it is, you know. And a lot of people don't take the time to understand it, but it was just funny though. But basically, I was watching this. I'm watching you know, DLG. They said that Ferguson. Probably a lot of Ferguson, what they're doing is they're ticketing people for profit. Basically, that's how they're doing it in Ferguson, and they're giving these tickets that are minor, they're not even criminal, and that things that they can be warnings and stuff. And then people don't know they got to show up for court, so when they show up for court, they realize there's something else. And so basically, they said that they're just ticketing people are being punished for being poor, right? Because they couldn't pay their ticket the first time. But when you start looking at the things that they're getting ticketed for, I mean, it's just silly stuff. This is blatant disrespect for the law, or disrespect for order, or basically just, you know, creating this wave that doesn't need to be there. You know, so not parking properly in the parking lot, and jaywalking, and playing the music too loud, and not wearing seatbelts and stuff like that. And a lot of people, why can't I play my music loud? But I mean, if you're in a car and you got a brand new baby and somebody's bumping all this music and it's hurting your baby's ears, then, you know, there's reasons why they have these rules. Basically, the rules it's just to keep the peace. Basically, that's what a lot of these rules are. Now, when it comes to black people and stuff, when we're doing, it's the same thing, but it's also to keep us in our positions, in certain positions. But, you know, we can't even use that anymore, because there are a lot of billionaire black people who are not in sports, who got money and who are doing a lot of things, you know, and they might not be the ones with the main power, but, you know, they still doing what they're doing. And so we really can't use a lot of these excuses that we have. But what we need to do is we need to start doing things the way we're supposed to do. Now, this is what I want to talk about, and I'm going to stop and then talk about this, okay?